Hello and welcome to this update to Blit Paint. This is version 0.47. In this version the UI has been cleaned up a good bit but not completely finished yet, and I may reskin everything once everything's in place. So we'll see how it goes, but for now we've got buttons for different grids. You've got your 16 pixel square grid here, 8 pixel square grid, 4 pixel, you got your isometric grid, and we've got a compositional grid. So if I just press H to hide the UI, you can also use this little button here. We can paint, you know, kind of composition. You've got your different layout here and your sort of key points where you would place points of interest. Perspective mode, you press P for that, or there's a button here for that as well. It shows you this little line and you can move that up or down. Basically the brush gets smaller towards that point, and it's pretty good for clouds and things as well. So if we hold down X, make the brush a bit wider, you can kind of make clouds go into the distance, or a pathway make its way to the distance, sort of thing. So I'm going to press B to turn that off. Now this little rocket here is overdrive mode. You'll hear your fans on sometimes, but maybe not, but it just gives it everything that extra boost. You don't need that on. If you want to have eco mode, you can switch that off. So the main thing that's new here is the animation slice guide. So I'm just going to turn off the comp grid and do animation slice 4. You see it is a bit of a busy scene with all this writing and the UI and stuff, but I'm just going to hide the UI, and basically it just leaves you with the animation grid. So you've got this square here, here, here and here. That's the 4 slice, which I think we're on. Yep, 4 slice. So whatever you draw in here, you're going to see it start to flash. It's splitting things up into 4 for you. Now it's not got onion skin mode just now, so I'm just going to switch that on. That's this guy, and that shows you previews of the next, you know, just where things line up. So I could take this one and do a thing like that. Now I've got that as a guide and do a thing like that, and then something like this. So you can see how that's changing there. We can change the play mode to backwards, or ping pong, or stop. Okay. So that's the 4 slice mode. So I'm going to click 8 slice, and this time we use this section where it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and whatever you paint in here, you see a little preview of it. And again, it starts to give you a preview of what you're making. It's going to show you the animation of that. Just doing a little kind of spring thing here. And this last frame shows you a little bit of the first frame, just in case you want to spring things back a bit. Not the best animation, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's the 8 slice. I'm going to press H again, or use this to toggle the UI back. Backspace to clear everything. And 16 slice animation. This time we use the little section in here. You see the numbers 0 to 15. So we got just a little bit of a play area with these. Now these are really designed for making little brushes up as well, so you can make variations like that. So if that was a brush set, you could save that out, so Control S, and it's going to save the image and a kind of strip. So I'll just do test brush. Okay, so this time I'm not really using it for animation, I'm just using it to make a brush set. So I'm going to go over to one of these. I'm going to change this to 16 because I know that this is divided into 16 bits. And I'm going to add in this brush sprite. It's actually labeled sprite 4 here, but it's no sprite 4, it's a sprite 16. Just need to fix that. But what it's done is give me a brush. If I just clear everything, turn the grid off there, I've now got a brush. You can see it actually going through the various images. Now I just need to turn off onion skin, and animation can go off as well. So I've got this brush with all these variations in them now. So it's a good way of building up variation. And I could do full color ones if I wanted. Nice rotation like that. Bit of scatter. Okay, so that's cool. What else is new is I've added this opacity slider for your layers. So let's just go to this bottom layer here. Right, I'm going to choose a couple of tones. Let's go into this mode so that we mix between the two tones and go behind this one. Should actually be, oh, that's in front of that, sorry. Getting mixed up. Let's start from the top. So I'll go here, and then I'm going to work my way backwards. I'm going to change up the tone as I go just to see what's happening. But what I want to show you is that you can click on a layer and change this opacity slider and basically fade out a layer. Or you can right click on a layer to hide it. To clear a layer, you press Shift C to clear the layer. Right, we don't want to do that. I want to keep these. So I'm going to carry on building this up. I'm going to use Alt click and Alt right click to choose two colors. You see it changes the foreground background tones. I'm just going to build this up some more. And I'm going to keep going with this and building it up because I'm going to show you something pretty cool in a second. Right, so I've made a custom brush and we can do all sorts of things with it, like we can change the size variation so that it gets bigger and smaller. We get rotational range so that it kind of goes all over the bit. And if we press 5, we get some opacity with that as well. And if you hold down Shift while you draw, it mixes up the color samples so you can get a mix even with things in the foreground. It just samples all these colors. Right, so you can do these things with the layers. Now, a cool thing you can do is you can find a key that does this. I don't want to reveal what the key is because it's only for people that join the Discord. I'll tell them what key actually does this. Or you can just press every key there is until you find what actually does this thing. But that is a little Easter egg for you. And there's also another key that turns it into pixel art. So there's another little Easter egg and various buttons that change. Again, you only find these things out if you check out more information. Check out the Discord, check out the itch page with the actual thing on it. Another thing that you can do is if you've got a sprite, let's just turn that off, right? You can offset the position. Okay. And if you want fine tuning, you can fine tune and so on. Now these are going to be turned into buttons eventually, but this is all the number pad key. So it's 0 and 2, 4, 6, 8 for a little bit of movement. The decimal point in 0, 2, 4, 8 for 1 pixel of movement, and just 2, 4, 6, 8 for bigger bits of movement. That just changes the offset so that you've got a nice starting point with your brush. So I've got it in pixel mode, and you can see you can make kind of pixel art looking stuff. That's just a shader that's doing that trick. Okay, it's not the same as the actual pixel grids that use real pixels, because you can toggle this on and off, right? But it will save the image the way you want it. So I hope you like this video, and please download Blit Paint and show me what you can make in it. Join the Discord. There is a link in the, I'll put a link in the YouTube comment description, and I'll put a link on the itch page as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.